Hi, today I want to talk about the theme of grief in Wellstore and what my expectations of the show's gonna be, because GMMTV never really disappoints when it comes to realistic themes like this. So TikTok has been showing me a lot of different types of ways that people grieve, and one of the main things that we see in episode 1 of Wellstore is when she misses her dad. When I forgot her name, misses her dad, she went to the dad's store. She stands there, she says out loud, Papa, I'm home. Oh, I cannot, give me a minute. Oh, this is getting to me. You know what, we're gonna just accept it. I'm gonna be crying a little bit in this video, because that's what TikTok does and that's what GMMTV does, okay? We cry. So, when she says, Papa, I'm home, it's just, I've seen videos of people, after the parents die, or, someone else they love dies, and I think some people avoid speaking their name out loud, and the one where the one that went viral is a girl forgetting that her mom passed away, I think a week before, and she was making food. She's like, Ma, and then it hits her that the mother's gone. Oh, that got to me, man. Ooh. And then now, I've seen a lot of people in the same trend. They're doing the thing where they call out their grandma, they call out the parents. Oh my god, it hurts, because I've always had anticipatory grief, and I think this fits the theme, right? And I'm a feely person, so I've always had anticipatory grief, and then I've always prepared myself for when my parents die. Oh, okay, part of the process, okay, but I think that's why the first episode of Well Love really made all of us sob, right? Because I think most of us have lost someone important, right? And I did the same. I called out for my grandma, and it comes again, and it's so human to hold on to these things, right? And that's why I think in the following episodes, oh, Well Love, I want to see different depictions of grief, especially when she's definitely the character that regrets not doing things when the parent is around, when the dad's around. So how do we grieve in moments like this? How will TGL once again heal us with stories of human beings? One other trend I see is in comments that I read of videos, basically people do not touch the last thing the person touched. Like, for example, one mom lost a son, right? He had pencil sharpness, and she kept the pencil sharpener with the shavings. And there's another where the son had steak, wanted to eat it, put the seasonings on the counter. She said, I never thought at steak, I would never throw away the seasoning. The seasonings will stay the way that it stays. And there are people who don't touch shoes that the person last wore. It will be there for the next until the day they pass away, right? So for me, it was my grandma's clothes, her home clothes that she wore from when I was young. Oh, this is so hard, because my brother lives there, and her smell is gone. She's been gone. I think she passed away 3 years ago. Oh, this is so hard. So I still have that in a Ziploc bag, all the clothes that she wore when I was young, so that I still have a part of her. Oh, I'm hoping to see things like this in Wellstore, because how do we portray grief? Is it always in the most traditional way we see in TV, like the room is gonna stay exactly the same? But for us, right, for normal people like us, it's very unlikely that we keep the room exactly the same way. But again, people all grieve differently, right? And I think with Asians, we rarely leave one room untouched. Maybe if it's super extreme, super the grief is really bad that you really don't want to let go, right? I think that's another story for another day. But for Asians, we pack things into boxes. We make use of the space again because we're practical. But another thing is that we don't have that kind of space to just leave as a place of for our grief. Well, part of it is superstition. You don't want the ghost to come back and to stay. So you have to clean the house a little. That's part of the superstition, but that's not the point of this video. So because of Asians being bad with their grief, how will GMMTV approach the subject of grief? Because is most of the time in their stories, they approach stories of grief, but it's not really in the kind of grief that you expect in adulthood. It's always when they were kids, they lost their parents. Then it's been a while, and then the grief becomes something different. But now this is fresh grief. We have not seen this yet, and I think, um, with us the series there is grief, but it is almost at the end of the series, right? But now we see it in the first episode. So how will this translate throughout the entire show, and how will they let grief be one of the main motivators to Milk's character trying to revive everything? Is there a part of the dad that she tries to not touch, tries to keep sacred? Because like I said, people grieve very differently, and for her, she comes from a place of regret, that I should have done this, I should have done it, should have come home more. A lot of it is from there. And in my life, I've seen a lot of people deal with this kind of grief in a way where they try to compensate after the person leaves, and it will never be enough unless you forgive yourself and you tell yourself that you did your best and that you didn't know, and forgive yourself. I don't think that compensation and overcompensation is gonna ever stop. Because I've seen it in real life, I've seen it with some of my friends when they have their parents pass away and they were never there for the parents, and then they're like, no, wait, you know, I could be a good kid, you know, come back. It's not gonna work. So let's see how, because I feel like grief, while it's taboo to talk about, right, it is so important to touch on, because in this century, basically, a lot of people do not do well with emotions. They don't do well with loss, and they feel very alone a lot of times. So I hope Thai GLs, they heal us in different ways, and I hope that they're able to heal some other people who are dealing with the loss of a parent. We'll see, but that's my expectation of Will Store. I cannot wait for it next week.